Okay, so this is the calculator I posted on Brightspace. So I'm going to show you how to use it. Now, your attendance, including PLTL and lecture, they're around 42 or some days. So I'm giving you a few days off, and I'm taking only 36 days, okay, from 42 or something days. Now, if you don't know how many days you are present, you can ask me, I'll tell you how many days. But for now, I only counted the lecture days. The PLTL days, I'm going to count at the end of the semester when I get the entire list. Okay? And the MyMathLab homework quizzes you get from MyMathLab. So when you go to MyMathLab, go to your gradebook. Okay, I don't know how your gradebook looks like because this is instructor point of view. Now, when you pull out your gradebook, let me take Mariam. She completed everything. Yeah. When you pull out your gradebook, I think you'll see something overall score. So if you see the overall score, click on calculation, and then it will tell you how much you have in the homework and how much you have in the quizzes. So these are total points. 410 homework, he has all 410. Now quiz is 290. Currently she has 267. But you're going to improve, right? The more you're going to improve, the better you'll be. So these are total how much you need, and these are total how much you have. So take this for the homework and quiz and paste them on MyMathLab homework and MyMathLab quiz. Okay? So you get them from MyMathLab. The exam 1, 2, 3, 4, you already took them. And I already posted the grade yesterday on Brightspace. I did, right?
Yes, you did.
I did. So go to Brightspace and get your grade from Brightspace, put them here. That means there are two things you have to estimate. The final exam and a fifth exam. In the final exam, you have to have at least 50. If you get below 50, you fail the class automatically. So you have to have 50. It's a must. You have to have 50 here. 50, 50. And then you can guess fifth exam. Maybe it's between 40, 50, 60, 70, like whatever you think. I already posted the review sheet, did I?
Yes.
The fifth exam review sheet? I think I did.
Yes.
So look at all those questions and think about how confident you are. Even though you didn't go over chapter 11 yet, but still ask yourself like how much you think you can manage. And then estimate your number on fifth exam, and then your grade will be 0 here. Yeah. Multiple choice, but doesn't count if the work is wrong. No. 24 multiple choice and 6 non-multiple choice. And for multiple choice, the partial credit. 24 multiple choice. So is there anybody who wants me to calculate your grade now, Martin? Okay. So I can show you how it works. So Martin. Okay.
Okay.
See you too. We believe it too. So your MyMathLab is this and this. Your attendance student absent, right? He wasn't absent any day. So for now, I have 24 days, lecture days, and you're here now, so it's 25. Besides PLTL, okay? I'm going to count PLTL later. And then exam. You didn't mind showing your exam, right? Okay. The first one is 87, then 99, then 95, and this one is 90. So with all these scores, you're definitely expecting to get A, right?
Yeah.
What is your goal? A. Now let me tell you how much you need in your fifth and final exam to get A. So currently you have 71 with the final exam 50, but let's say you got 80 in the fifth exam. Suppose if you have 80 in the fifth exam and let's say get 80 in the final exam, you have 88, which is B plus, but you're not looking for B plus, you're looking for A. So you have to improve your 80, let's say 90. It's 89, which is still B plus, not even A minus. So let's say you improve this, you got 81. Still not enough. Let's say you never were absent, so you have all 36 days here. Okay, so it's still not enough. So let's say you got 90 in the final. Oops, 69. 90. With 90 in the final, 90 in the next exam, you have 82, which is A minus, because A starts from here, 93. So I also give you a table of your GPA. So if you want to get, no carving, so you have to earn your grade. Yeah, the makeup, between makeup and the original one, whichever is highest, I take that one. So, you know, to get A, probably can improve exam 5. Let's say 93 on exam 5. Still not enough, see, 92.9. Let's say you got 94. 94 in the next exam, 90 in the final exam, you get A. Okay, but let's say you got below 94 in the fifth exam, that means you have to have higher on the final exam. So after your fifth exam, we can definitely know how much you need to have in the final exam to get this class. And I'm going to tell you that on August 11 is the last day to do all the homework. So I'm going to tell you on August 12, definitely how much you need to have in the final exam to get your desired grade. Okay. So last day to do any homework or quizzes is August 11. And after that, no matter how much you beg me, I'm not going to open them. Okay. Because you need at least 2 days to prepare for the final. People beg to open my mouth. They always do. Every semester after deadline, they keep telling me, please give me one more day, one more night. It's like, where are the entire semester? You're asking for 1 day, 1 night thing. Come on. It doesn't matter if you have all perfect score in the MyMathLab. If you fail the final, you fail the class. So there is no point of wasting your time after you learn on MyMathLab if you don't prepare yourself for the final. Okay. Now, who doesn't have any good score on MyMathLab and wants to show how much you need? Justin? Yep. You sure? Yep. Okay. So, how important MyMathLab is, Justin?
Oh, plenty of stuff.
28, okay, out of 100.
Yeah.
So currently you have 161. Let me take that. And then 36.
Yeah.
And you didn't mind showing your scores, right? 46. And then 87. And then 93. And then 93. And then 80. 80, right?
Yes.
80. Okay, so with perfect attendance, with these scores, and 50 passing the final exam, you have 51, which is failing. Okay. So let's put a number on fifth exam. Let's say you got 50. Let me start with something bad. You have 50 on the final, 50 on the next exam. You have 56, which is still failing. Now let me show you the miracle. Let's say you're stuck in math, okay? Stuck in exam, okay? So let me keep the exam scores and let's improve the MyMathLab. Out of 410, let's say you have 400. See? 63, D. But what you're looking for? At least C?
C plus or P plus?
Okay, so now look here. In 290, you have 36. Let's say you made it to 200. 67, which is D plus. Not bad. Now, so see? So let's improve gradually. Let's say 60. With 60, you have 68, which is still D plus. Let's say 70. With 70, still D plus. Let's improve final exam. Let's say 53. You get C. C or C minus? C minus, or they have a C minus. Wow. So C starts from 73. So you see, if you improve this, that we see that you have to improve that high in here, you have to at least pass. Yeah. But your goal is that at least pass something higher than D. So if you want to get at least C minus, this two is fine. Okay. Now if you're looking for C, which one you can improve? Final or the fifth exam? Fifth exam. 80? Oh. Yeah, 80. Oh. Can you do like a 60 on the final? I thought we get a 60 on the final. Don't matter. 60 on the final, 73, C. C? Mm-hmm. So 80 and 60, you get C in the class. If you improve MyMathLab. So why do you think you need a C or higher in this course? For many majors, they require C or higher. And for few majors or many majors, they don't care about your grade. D is fine. But for example, if you are some like architecture or something, I don't remember which major, they require C or higher, or C plus or higher. No, not C, yes. C or higher, not even C minus. Engineering. Matthews? Previously it was 70, but from last year they started 60. That is in my Can I say Mama? Yep. Okay, real quick. Okay. Wait, I think you already did that. Yeah. I did your MyMathLab. Yeah, after class I'll tell you. So you have 249. So if you are not doing MyMathLab, see the miracle of MyMathLab? Without MyMathLab, there is no way you can pass. Okay.
Pre-calc this summer. For math test, like 35 questions each.
So that's all.
But in the summer, I don't know how it's gonna be in the fall.
We have 90, 89, 93, 72. 72, right? So let me make it 50. And okay, so if you're only looking for passing, yeah, as long as you pass the final exam, you pass the class.
Wait, can you just put on? That's what I get, but.
Exam 5?
Really?
Okay. So let's put a number for exam 5. 70. Suppose you have 70 in exam 5. And out of 410, let's say you got 400. And 290, let's say you have 200, what? 50. See, 75. C plus that from 77. So 400 and 250, you get C, but definitely you can get more than 150 in the final exam, right? Yeah. So let's say you got 60 here. 60. 78, C plus. And you can get to B minus at least if you have higher score in these two.
I got a question. Is the final exam in the morning or in the afternoon?
Or class time.
Okay. Because like I said last semester, right? You had the
During fall and spring, it's 8 a.m. in the morning. And
it's like me taking a class and I have to wake up in the morning.
because they take uniform final. And in summer, we take uniform final, but we have only 3 classes.
You say it's better.
But we have only 3 sections. But in fall and spring, we have around 30 sections. So that's why they have to take uniform final. Okay, so if you want to know your grades, talk to me after class and I'll tell you how much you need to improve my math lab if you want to pass. Now let's start the lecture. Okay. So I noticed if you did not, will it rain now? It's so cloudy. It became scary. Yeah, like I don't know, in rainy days I get scared.
I do too. We never got done.
You get too?
And then I have a phone and that phone.
I don't know, like I feel like something bad is going to happen. So it just makes me nervous and scared. Matthew is your exam. Calisius still not here? Calisius. Yeah. Okay, so on our last class, the last thing we did was reducing the power of I. In the final exam, sometimes they give one question like this. Not like this, like this.
It's like work together.
I already told you what to do in the final throughout the semester.
True. So they said work together.
So after we finish our syllabus, I'm going to tell you again from my unit sheet which question you will get the final answer. But let's finish the syllabus first. So I to the 29, you can use whatever method you learned to reduce that. The easiest method I found is divided by 2. So 29 divided by 2. So it's 28 and 1, right? So 28 divided by 2 is what? 14. So it's I squared 14 times with an extra I. Right? 14 is 28, and then we have one extra one. So that one power is here, which is invisible to the right. Now what is I squared?
-1.
That means we have -1 14 times with an extra I. So if you multiply -1, how many times? Even or odd? Even. So multiply -1 even times, the answer is +1. So you have positive I.
What if we like outline list the table out and then divide it?
Which table?
Like the I, because that's how it's taught the last one. It's divide and we split the table.
If you're comfortable with that, go for it. But I'll stick with my method. It's the easiest method I figured out. Divided by 2, and then just use the exponential. -1 add means negative. Negative ones to the even power is positive. So positive I or negative I, if you have odd numbers. Now, if you have something like that, let's say we have an extra 2 here. Because in the final exam, I said there was a coefficient. Now, the same thing, but we are going to do twice. One is for 28. 28 divided by 2, 14. So we have I squared 14 times. 2, since there is a parenthesis around 2I, that means 2 is a coefficient. So it's 2 times. Now 35 means you have 34 and 1 extra I, right? 34 and 1. So you have an extra I. Right? 35 means you have 34 and then extra 1. Extra 1 means you have extra I. Now 34, if you divide 34 by 2, how much you get? 17. So the 28 you write as I squared with the 14 power, and 34 you write as I squared 17 times. But every I square means you have -1. So you have -1 14 times. 2 times -1 17 times, and an extra I. And now comes the negative roots. -1 even times means what? 1. 2 times. -1 17 times. 17 odd or even. Which one? Odd, so it's -1. And then extra I. So 1 minus 2I. And we cannot combine them because 1 doesn't have any I.
Sorry.
35, we have 35, right? Remainder is 1.
What if there's no coefficient for I to be?
Then it's only I, 1 minus I.
No, I'm saying like solve, like how to solve without.
So if there is no 2, because 2 is just multiplying. So if there is no 2, it's -1 times I, which is -I. So 1 minus -I.
Oh, so you don't combine them because.
You cannot combine them. This has I, this doesn't have I. So the multiplication.
So the remainder is always gonna be at I.
I.
And so how come so I would 29? How come you go?
So it's 28 and I. 28 is I squared 14 times. So I squared 14 times and single I. Add power means the answer has to be I. Either positive I or that negative I. It has to be I. Matthew's question?
I think on my math lab, it was dividing it by 4.
You can
Like,
divide by
like
4, but there is a problem. When you divide by 4, either you have 1 remainder, 2 remainder, or 3 remainder. That means you have to remember what is I square, what is I cube. That's why, like instead of dividing by 4, if you divide by 2, there's only 1 remainder, 1. It gives you an extra I. If you're used to it 4, you can keep that method. But I like this method. I invented this.
For me, I like to use a mixture, like factor and then divide to check the fact. I don't know if that makes sense.
If it's easier for you, no problem.
At least you already did it. factor is divided.
So see, not bad. Try the next one. And let me add another one because all of these are even numbers. Let me put extra I to the let's say 59. So all you have to do is, if it's add, split into even and then I. But if it's even, all you have to do is divide by 2.
So this is where you don't combine this.
You cannot combine their power. It's like if you have x squared minus x cubed, can you combine them? No. So it's same rule. They have different powers, so you cannot combine them. You have to reduce them. Even so add means answer has to have an I. Even means it's 1 or -1. I think I can let's try. Liliana here, Martin here, Stefan here, Axel here, Matthias here, Eliza here, Angel here, Handa here, Maria. Okay. Ashley here, Exona here, Jason here, Kitty here, Asim here, Kayla here, Crystal here, Alicia's absent, Mariam here. Okay. Wow, these are fast absent. Chanel here, Josie here, John probably. Ready? So who didn't understand what I taught? I'll help you now. Ashley, go ahead. What is the first step? You have even power, so what do you have to do? By 2. Okay. So I square, if you divide 60 by 2, how much you get? 30. Perfect. The next one is even again. So you divide by 2. So what is half of 70? 35. Perfect. The next one is add. Add means you're going to have an extra I. So I to the 59 means you have I to the 58 and extra I. Now for 58, 58 is even, right? So what is half of 58? 29? Great. Huh? 36? Let me see. 58. 2 goes to 5 twice. We get 4. 29. So when it's add, break it down into even and then 1.
So all of them will be -1. And they have to
Really?
okay, I don't know.
So you have inside -1, true.
Yeah.
-1 30 times, -1 35 times, -1 29 times, but with an extra I. So Ashley, how about the next one? If you have negative 1 35 times, what do you have? Negative 1. And then this one, negative 1, you have 29 times. Negative 1. And you have your I. Now all you have to do is just simplify. Double negative turns into positive. Negative and positive turns into negative. So you have 1 plus 1 minus I. Do you have any like terms to combine? The ones. How much is 1 plus 1? So you have 2 minus I. Did I make a mistake? No. Right, I like that.
Oh.
59, right? So 59 means you have, yeah, this is negative 1, see? Negative 1. Negative 59 is negative 1.
But if you negative I would have made that.
You mean? No. So 59, right? When you divide 59 by 2, what's wrong? 59 by 2, you get what? 29 with the remainder 1. It means you have I squared 29 times and I with remainder 1 time.
How do you know, like, for the negative to like so many times? Is there an easy way to know, like, what it would turn into without having to like multiply each time by number?
If the power is divisible by 4, the answer is always 1.
No, I'm talking about just like that, where it's like negative 135, negative 135.
That's what I'm saying. Whatever power you have, if that power is divisible by 4, the answer will be 1. If it's not divisible by 4, how makes negative 1? Yeah. Is it true? 60 divisible by 4. Answer is 1. 70 is not divisible by 4, right? Negative 1. Cool, yeah. So if the power is divisible by 4, the answer is 1. If it's not divisible by 4, but even number, it's negative 1. Not bad. So for even power, I to the even, only for even. Even power. So if the even power is divisible by 4, then answer will be 1. If the even power not divisible by 4, the answer is negative 1. Okay. So if you can remember that, then you don't have to do all these things. But for art, definitely it is quick part, and then you can use the even rule. Cool, that's just a shortcut. I should teach it in my next one.
That's what I said, because you're like, you know, we have so many topics. You can't just be one negative 1 solution.
No, the rule. Remember the exponent rule I told you before at the beginning of the semester? Negative 1. If you have add many times, the answer is negative 1. If you have negative 1 even many times, the answer is positive 1. Do you remember the exponent rules? You forgot? I should put them on your 5th exam. All those exponent rules from exam 2, exam 3.
No, maybe I take credit. But the audio, you ask them what the others.
Okay, so with this, we are done with chapter 10. Yeah, now we are going to do chapter 11. It's a long section, so probably I should just go over the review sheet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give a refresher.
That will be much shorter to teach. But before going to the review sheet, let's start with something basic.
What do you think about the square root problem for like chapter here?
So using logic, if I tell you, tell me a number, its square is 4. What number you're going to tell me?
2.
X equals 2. definitely, right? But is 2 the only number when you square it at 4? Huh?
-2.
-2.
So it's two, so it's plus and minus.
So there are 2 solutions, not 1 solution. So anytime you square and you're taking the square root of the variable, you have 2 choices, plus or minus of the result. How about this one? What number square will give you 49?
Plus or minus 7. Plus or minus.
See, the plus 1, also the minus 1. So if you want to solve for x, algebraically, obviously you have to take the square root, right? Square root of both sides. But since you take the square root of a variable, you have to have 2 solutions. One is plus, one is minus. So you always get 2 solutions, except in one case. When you get only 1 solution, x squared equals to what will give you only 1 solution? Can you think of something? X squared equals to what will give you only 1 solution, not 2?
0.
Good job. Only when x squared is 0 and you are trying to solve for x, you get only 1 solution, 0. Besides this 0, any other time you're taking the square root of something, you have to have 2 solutions. One is plus, one is minus. Can you also remember that? You need this information throughout your entire math life. Okay? So this is the logic behind plus minus. Why would you get plus minus 1 to the square root of a square? Because there are 2 choices. Now square equals 9. What number will give you 9?
3 plus or minus 3. Plus or minus.
2 things, right? One is positive 3, one is negative 3. So you cannot just tell me plus 3. It has to be 2 of them. And 10, sorry, 100. What number square will give you 100?
Plus or, wait, can you just say plus or minus to like the way that we win it and like
So it's like plus minus 10. It means you have plus 10, also minus 10. Okay? Now let's use algebra to solve our next page. You have x squared minus 14 equals 0. It goes to get the x alone. What's the first step? Plus 14. Great. Let me change the color. You have to add 14 to both sides. So we get x squared equals 14. And now to get to the square, what do you have to do? Square root. The opposite of square power is square root. So what is our answer? X equals? Can you reduce 14? So definitely square root of 14. But is it the only thing? No, right? It has 2 choices. One is plus 14, the other one is negative 14. It means you have 14 or negative 14 under the square root. Anytime you take the square root of a variable, okay, for variable, you have 2 choices. If you only take the square root of a number, the answer is positive. For example, for 9, if I tell you what is square root of 9, you have to tell me only 3. You cannot tell me plus minus 3. Square root of a number is positive result. But square root of a variable is 2 choices, plus or minus. Why? Because when it's squared, there are 2 choices that will give you the same result. Clear, guys? Let's do the next one, 24. What is our first step? Add 24. So we get x squared equals 24. And now we want to get the x alone. So get here the square. We need to do what? Square root. So square root cancel out. We get the x alone. And what do you get from square root of 24? Can you reduce 24? We could not reduce 14. But how about 24? Can you reduce? 12 is that square root. Like, can you divide 24 by a perfect square number? 6 and 4. So it's 4 and 6. And square root of 4 will give you 2. Square root of 6 doesn't have anything. So it's 2 square root of 6. And what is missing? Plus minus. There are two choices. Either it's plus 2 square root of 6 or it's minus 2 square root of 6. Two answers. So in one tab, you have perfect square number. All you have to do is take the square root, you get the solution. In another tab, we don't have perfect square number, but when you do the square root, you still get two choices. Some can be reducible, some cannot be reduced. And now the third type. What if we don't have x squared alone? We have x with something and then square. So which one we get rid of first? The one from the inside, the negative one from the inside, or the square power? Square. So what's the opposite of square? Square root. So square root both sides. The square and square root cancel out. We get the inside x minus 1. What do you get on the right side? Only one? Plus minus.
Plus and minus.
Why? Because see, we take the square root of the variable. Anytime we take the square root of the variable, we have to have plus minus in the answer. That means you have, well, I'm going to do it later. What is our next step to get back the one? Plus 1. So we add 1 to both sides. That means you have two things. 1 plus 1, or we have negative 1 plus 1. So it's plus 1 plus 1, or this minus 1 plus 1. Two answers. So what are the two answers? 2 and 0. It means if you put 2 minus 1 square, the answer is 1. Or if you put 0 minus 1 square, the answer is 1. If there are two numbers that will give you 1, when you subtract 1 and square that box. Now the last, I guess done with the left one. Done. What's the first step to do the right one, the last one? Square root. Let me actually do it here. So we have x minus 1 square equals negative 1. The first step is take the square root. So square root cancel out. We get x minus 1. What do we get on the right side? 1i. Definitely. Square root of negative 1 is I, but only I. It is the square root of a variable on the left side. So what you must have to have on the right side? Plus minus. You already forgot. I already told you like 100 times. And then the last thing we do is add 1, right? So what do you get? X equals plus I plus 1, it means plus I plus 1, which is 1 plus. Now what's wrong? No. Let me restart again. Well, let's see. Get out. Get out. I hate it when it does that. So we have either plus I plus 1, or we have, let me see, minus I plus 1. Minus I plus 1. Plus minus I means you're adding I and subtracting I. But remember, we cannot have the imaginary number first. So you have to write 1 plus I or 1 minus I. Two answers, 1 plus I, 1 minus I. It cannot because I is a variable. Okay, so when you solve any type of square and you're taking square root, you always have to put plus minus on one side. That's the rule. And now all about square. Let's see next. The first method is complete a square method.
What do you prefer? Factor.
If it's factorable, always factor first. If something is not factorable, you have complete a square, or you can use quadratic formula. Complete the square is actually shorter. Okay, so complete the square method. When you solve for x, and let's say you don't have something factorable, there is one method is called complete the square method. What does it mean? It means you are given some quadratic, which is not factorable, but we forcefully factor that. Since we forcefully factor that, so we get something extra. And we solve from that. For example, let's say you have x squared plus 8x plus 16. It's factorable. It's x plus 4, which is x plus 4 squared. So it's a perfect square trinomial. And why do you like that? Because when you have perfect square, we already did one example here, the last one. When you have perfect square, the last two, all you have to do is take the square root and then solve from there. Okay? That's anytime you have some type of quadratic, the goal is to have something perfect from that quadratic. So if you have something that is not perfect trinomial, we can make it perfect trinomial. For example, let's say you are given only x squared plus 8x, 2 terms. X squared plus 8x equals to something. Okay? So in order to solve, can we convert this into perfect square? That's our goal. So if you compare this with that, what is x squared plus 8x? It's x plus 4 squared minus 16. Right? If you subtract 16 from both sides, then x squared plus 8x is x plus 4 squared minus 16. Right? I will show you, but I'm showing why you do perfect square, or how can you come up with the perfect square. Look at this one, x squared minus 6x plus 9. This is factorable. Two numbers multiplied to 9 combined to 6 is minus 3 minus 3. So you get a perfect square here. X squared minus 6x plus 9 is x minus 3 squared. But let's say you're not given this, you're given only x squared minus 6x. If you're given only x squared minus 6x, we still get a perfect square. If you subtract 9 from both sides, what do you get? x squared minus 6x is x minus 6 squared minus 9. So this and this, they are exact same thing. Now the last one, we have a fraction. Well, two numbers multiply to this fraction, and when you combine to become 3, is 3/2. 3/2 times 3/2 is 9/4, and if you add that, it's 6/4, no, 6/2, which is 3. So this is a perfect square triangle. Now let's say you are given only x squared plus 3x. Well, x squared plus 3x is, if you subtract 9/4 from both sides, x squared plus 3x is x plus 3/2 squared minus 9/2. So we can rewrite this using a perfect square. And if you do that, we have to subtract something extra. Always. See, subtract something extra, something extra. Now, my question is, from here to here, do you see any pattern? From here to here, do you observe anything? How x squared plus 8x and these are related? Like, is there anything you can relate? Do you see anything here? It's like not visible, right? You have 8 here. What do you have here? How 8 and 4 is related? 8 and 4 are related. 4 is half of 8. And what is this? 4 square, right? So it's half of 8 and half of 8 square, right? How about this one? You have -3 and -6. How can you rewrite -3 and -6? -3 is half of -6. And what is 9? That's -3 square, right? So half of -6 square. And how about this one? If you take half of 3, you get half of 3 here. And this is half of 3 square. So how do you complete the square?
I don't understand like the half.
If you divide by 6.
No, I'm saying like the half is 6 squared. Like half.
Half of 6 is 3, and this is 3 square. Half of 3 is half of 3, and this is half of 3 square. So all these two numbers, they are actually half of that. Half of the middle term. Do you observe this? The number inside the square is half of that. The number outside the square is half of that square.
Okay, half of 6 squared.
That means all you have to look at is what number do you have in front of x. And you can complete the square without having any problem. But the condition is that x squared cannot have any number in the front.
So what is like the final answer?
So my question is, from here, can you also give me a perfect square and something extra? X squared plus 2x complete the square. So definitely is x and then what? Plus or minus? Plus. So x and then half of 2 is +1. So this is x plus 1 squared. And how much you have to subtract? 1 square, right? You take half of that inside and the square outside. What is 1 squared?
Oh, 1. So
1 times 1. 1 squared. And 1 times 2 is 1 squared. So the rule says if you have x squared plus bx, okay? B could be any number, whole number, fraction number, positive number, negative number, doesn't matter what number you have. If you have x squared plus bx, this thing we can write as a completed square as x plus half of b inside and the square goes outside. And always subtract whatever you have, that's quantity square. The main idea is the coefficients for the x. F of b goes inside your perfect square. F of b square goes outside of the perfect square. And you complete the square. From there, you can solve for x easily by taking the square root. Okay. So we divide this by 2, we get +1 goes inside. And 1 square goes outside. When we are done, we complete the square. This format is called completing the square format or complete the square method. We do that to solve for x easily. Who would like to try B? Perfect. Half of 2 is negative, sorry, half of -16 is -8, goes inside the parentheses. And -8 squared is 64, goes outside the parentheses. You always have to subtract, okay? It doesn't matter what sign you have here, you always have to subtract. Why? Because see, because of this. Who would like to try C?
Is it x plus?
What is half of 50?
Oh, 25.
So 25 goes inside.
So that'd be, oh, so it's square root 6, wait, 625?
25 square, 625. So it's x plus 20 minus 625. Twenty-five times 25 is 625. No. And the last one. Would like to try the last one? Martin. So 11/2 goes inside, and 11/2 square goes outside. So you have no idea what is 11 half. Wait, actually we do, right? We do, right? It's half of 11, 6.5, 5.5. So it's 5.5 square, and then 121/4.
You could actually put it like that.
Yeah, you can put decimal, no problem.
So with the, so do we put it in the fraction or?
That one, I have no idea what is in fraction. 121/4 or 5.5 square, I have no idea. But I do know that half of 11 is 5.5. So if you know a fraction, put in the decimal. If you don't know, keep it. Don't bother. Now, why we are learning this? Why?
To find, I think, okay, can I guess? To find the vertex.
We can find the vertex and also we can solve for x. Let's say we have some question like this. Solve for x. So anytime you're trying to solve for x, your first method should be factoring. Is this factorable?
Yes.
What two numbers multiply to 9 combined to 8? So it looks like factorable, right? 9 and 1, 9 times 1 is 9, and then 9 minus 1 is 8. So if you do that, your 9 has to be minus, 1 has to be plus, right? Minus 9 plus 1 will give you minus 8. But what happens when you multiply -9 plus 1? -9. What do you have? So is it factorable? So it's a tricky one. Looks like factorable. It's not factorable. So since it's not factorable, we still can solve it by completing the square.
Or can we use the quadratic?
You can use quadratic formula, but guess what? Almost 90% students forget the quadratic formula correctly.
How do we predict the quantity?
So if you are among those who can't remember the quadratic formula correctly, don't waste your time on quadratic formula. Use complete the square. We are going to learn after that.
It has this square.
Hmm?
It has this square. That's the easiest way to learn.
It does have a square root, true. So in order to solve it by not factoring, get rid of the 9, we don't need that. So we get x squared minus 8x equals -9. And now we can easily complete the square here. So the format is something like this. To complete the square, you have x inside, square outside, and a minus sign outside. That's the format. What goes inside, what goes outside.
Minus 4 squared.
So -4 goes here,
You solve.
and the outside gets
It gets
-4 squared, which is 16.
16 minus 7.
So you have x minus 4 squared minus 16 equals -9.
Oh, hold on. So you don't have to subtract it by.
We are going to, but I'm showing that on the left side, we completed the square. Now we are going to easily solve this. Now this becomes the question like we did before. If you have something extra, we get rid of that. So we get x minus 4 squared minus 9 plus 16, 7. And now we know what to do, right? Because I already told you at the beginning. Which one you get rid of first? The -4 inside or the square outside? What's the opposite of square? Square root. So square root, square cancel out. You get x minus 4. And what happens to the right side? Plus minus square root of 7. Have we done? Is our x alone yet? We just need to get rid of this 4. So we add 4 to both sides. And we get x is 4 plus minus square root of 7. It means either it's 4 plus square root of 7 or 4 minus square root of 7. 2 answers we have. 2 solutions. So if you can't remember your quadratic formula, this is your friend, your best friend. But if you can't remember quadratic formula, no problem. Quadratic formula has a downside. If A and C are big numbers, then applying quadratic formula is just wasting your time. Because at the end, inside that's radical, or you don't even know what quadratic formula. Never mind. I'm going to tell you that later. But that's all you have to do for complete the square. Get rid of the number you don't need, complete the square on the left side. The format is always x and then parentheses square minus. What goes inside, what goes outside is half of that number. So half of -8 is -4 goes inside, -4 square goes outside. And from here, just simplify. Okay? Now you try one and see do you like it or not. But before even trying, what do you observe? First observe that, okay? Anytime you can simplify something, if faster should be simplified.
I think they does a add a 44 to the other side then. Okay, it's easier.
See, all of these are divisible by
So
2.
you could just divide them. You don't have to do that way.
You don't have to do anything fast. So you have to do, you don't go to the factor thingy, complete the square fast. First you have to reduce. So it becomes x squared minus 4x negative 22. And now you can complete the square. To complete the square, condition is x square has to be alone. Okay. I mean, x square cannot have any coefficient. So go ahead, complete the square. You may get a real number, you may get a mini number, but you do have a solution.
Can you use this for like for the podcast? If you're like the 3 range,
What 3 times?
like can you use it for like the 5 like if you're like just 3 terms of this?
I think it says a square plus b square equals c square. How do you connect that with this?
No. What I'm saying it's like if it's like a square.
You mean difference of perfect squares?
No, like how's it? If you start with the pi diagram, right, and then you combine like but you're left with like just like
That is my question. How do you start with Pythagorean theorem? You cannot.
I just would not have more ways to do something.
You square when you have square root. There is no square root, so you cannot square. It doesn't help you. You can, but it doesn't help you. So that's what I said. When you want to solve for x, from these 2 terms, you can easily complete the square. And then take the square root by combining the like terms. Do I have one more? Oh yeah, I have one more. Done or confused? Which one? You got it? So write it down. You did? Then you have one more. Can I flip my page? I got you guys done with the left. Do anybody need the left page? No? Great, 2 questions. Try to complete the square.
Question on the previous one that you did. So why, when you divided 8 by 2 for x minus 4, why did you add the minus 4? Like it should be positive 4, right?
No, because it's always half of b. What is your b? Negative 8.
Negative 8.
Half of b is negative 4 and positive 4. So whatever you have that, you have exactly half of that quantity.
It's always negative.
No, half of that. So this is negative. You should be negative. You should have negative here. If you have positive, you should have positive here. So half of your b, what sign b has, that sign has to be inside.
You said like half of
Half of b. You cannot swear. Yeah, so you don't put b here, you put half of b. This is b, so you should be here. 2 and 2. You have to divide them by 2. That's how it goes. When else? Yeah. You but you see you minus. Yeah. The format is half of b will be inside, and minus half of b square is outside.
Oh, I see.
Don't, you can't divide them. You got to try to break.
So what you have the first one though? Yeah.
Oh, I thought. As she's talking about.
What do they do?
But
No, it's
oh,
so here,
because 20,
2 by 2. So you make
like, which you know, ones like this, like, no, like, certain numbers, 4 divided by 2, it's 4 divided by 2, like 2 times. Inside, the outside, so subtract, like, by
This
and then after
what is that?
then, oh, it's negative. It will be off.
And then you have I.
It'll be
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Now shift down. So why is it? Now.
Yeah.
You better
there's a negative. Or you put negative.
This one becomes that. This is
Just like square root of negative 1, square root of 4 minus 22. Yeah, we divided by 2.
This is.
I'm so confused. Okay, so here.
And then you put it in square.
This is where what?
So. If you have. Where plus bx plus a, and let's say x1. From here, you complete the squares. X plus f of b squares minus the same thing squared.
Okay.
And in here, it is an a. So you can complete the square vector. This is the property. And goes inside the parentheses, and minus is also the
Okay.
what goes here, what goes here.
So that'll go plus.
What is your b?
-4.
So what is half of -4?
2.
Positive or negative 4? Half of -4. Half of -4. We can simply say then yes, What about using side? And always tracking
That's what I did.
equals that are now you're solving.
Yes.
Some of the fractions are throwing me off so badly. It's always fraction.
This is in details. I skip the details to show you
Okay.
the.
I did it the way you did it the first time.
And you can use text. That's a way.
No, that's.
No, what is that?
Oh, two. Let's got two.
No, 11 is square is 11.
But I was like, oh. I just made the other
Great, nothing. That's why. I still want to. Why don't you make this?
Three radical.
Three square root is 2i. And this is square root is you. No, no, but it's you're always tracking.
Well, you can bring down negative 18 to x, negative 1.
Square root of 9.
Yes.
Plus
Okay, so.
no,
X went to equals.
Double.
2.
No. Plus the plus the minus 2i. Plus the minus 2i. No, plus the plus the minus 2i. We're radical 2. Yeah. And then you add the 2. And then you add. Plus minus 2i.
Yes, it's
Plus minus 5. Oh,
no, but yeah. So from there.
Plus and minus.
And you mentioned that.
So here's the problem.
I have a line down. -1.
What is the lower one?
Where?
I mean, the apologize.
You're so good. That was. No.
Can I combine them? So you want to see the last one?
I know it's good that it's breaking out because like it's all
Oh,
like
it's correct.
yeah.
It's all correct. What is 12 and as you get some I. So it's a straight line.
No, I think it's a world cross because you know the hard order divided.
Okay, let's do them together. From here, the format is this. X goes inside, square goes outside, and you subtract something. Okay? So what goes inside? -2. And what goes outside? -2 square. Whatever you have here, you put that square here. You just subtract that quantity. So we get x minus 2 squared minus 4, -22. And now it's just simple algebra to solve for us. So we add 4. That cancel out. We get x minus 2 squared equals -18. Like before, we need to take the square root out, square out. So we apply the square root on both sides. Square root, square cancel out. We get x minus 2. And we have to have a plus minus here because we take the square root of a variable. And now you told you about this.
You can break it down to a 30 square.
We can break it down into 3 pieces. One is -1, 9, and 2. Why? Because this is reducible. Anytime you have a negative, we have to take it out. And the negative is reducible, so it's 9 and 2. Square root each quantity. This gives you I, this gives you 3, this we don't know, so keep it. That means from here we have x minus 2 is plus minus 3i square root of 2. The last thing we do is add 2 to both sides. 2 is a single number, and then 3i square root of 2, it's one whole thing, so you actually cannot combine them. So answer is 2 plus minus 3i square root of 2. As long as it's inside, it's not inside the radical, you're fine. You can write 3 square root of 2i, it's fine. Okay, the next one. We don't need the 5, so we kick it out. And we get x squared minus 3x equals -5. From here, the format is x goes inside, square goes outside, and you subtract something. What goes inside? -3/2. And what goes outside? -3/2 square. In other words, we have this minus 9/4. So we add 9/4 to both sides. We get x minus 3/2 squared equals 9/4 minus 5. We need the LCD, so we multiply top and bottom. that tells us we have 9 minus 20 over 5, which is negative 11 over 5. Hmm? Five on the numerator, and our denominator is 4, so you want one denominator. That has to be the LCM. Why it's 5? No, it's 4. Sorry. I meant 4. Thank you. So I don't have space, let me do it here. X minus 3 half square is negative 11 over 4. We do the same thing. So x minus 3 half, and then still we break it down into 3 pieces. Negative 1, 11, and 4. Each one of them gets square root. So x minus 3 half is I square root of 11 and 2. And we have to put plus minus. The last thing is the add 3 half. So you get x equals 3 half plus minus square root of 11. I square root of 11 over 2 or square root of 11 over 2i. It doesn't matter. And then since you have the same denominator, if you want, you can combine. Or if you want, you can just leave it alone.
Wait,
No, you mean you can write 3 plus minus square root of 11i over 2. Because they have the same denominator. So whether it's a fraction or whole number, compare the square makes it much easier than other things. Now the second method we are going to learn is quadratic formula. That means you have to memorize the quadratic formula.
I think the one is on the bottom.
So that's the quadratic formula we have. This is negative b plus minus. So this is your question. You are given ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0.
I think quadratic formula.
If you can remember the formula correctly, it's good. So if you have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0, and you are trying to solve for x, if x is negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. And then you substitute a, b, c from an equation. We still have 5 more minutes, right? Yeah. How come you are getting ready?
No, I'm not.
Our, not you, like them. Okay, so in this question, what is our A? 1. What is our B? Negative 4. What is our C? 10. So x is negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac whole thing divided by 2a. Negative b means what? What is our b? So negative 4 plus minus negative 4 square. 4 times a. What is a? And c? 10. Whole thing, not half. Whole thing. You divide by 2 times 1. So step 1, remember the formula correctly, memorize it correctly. Step 2, substitute, and then all you have to do is simplify. Maria, what is confusing? That's it, right? Negative b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac, all thing divided by 2. See, if you cannot remember the formula correctly, your best friend should be complete the square. Martin, question?
On the test, do we have to complete this?
You don't have to. But both methods, you should know. What is negative 4 squared? 16 minus 40 divided by 2. So 4 plus minus 16 minus 40. Negative 24/2. 4 plus minus square root of negative 24/2. Are you done? No. You have to reduce this. So square root of negative 1, square root of 4, square root of 6. So x equals 4 plus minus 2i square root of 6/2. And then you can split your numerators. Four over 2 plus minus 2i square root of 6/2. Are you done? No, right? What is half of 4? 2. And 2 and 2 cancel out. So now finally you have simplified version. So you are done.
I don't know, like, if I'll finish on time, I just.
Today is Thursday, right? So you have 2 more classes. I feel like there is definitely you're not going to finish everything. So I'll just do the review sheet. But these are the main themes, okay? The main things of chapter 11.
The main course.
The main parts of chapter 11. First, know how to review, how to solve. So once you know how to solve, then you are going to do transformation, graphing, solving.
I don't know. I feel like you should go. Oh, I don't know. Become one of those math people that like travel around the world.
You're funny, Mario. So, guys, probably in our next 2 classes, we have to teach extra, okay? If you want to do well in your exam. So next Monday, Tuesday, we're going to select. Okay, like before we started class earlier, but now we're going to still wait for 2 more classes. And then you have your exam on Thursday, and then you're going to do review on next week. Okay.
The calculation of the.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you already know, Mom. I feel like you already, because you did it, but I didn't pay attention.
Don't forget to do homework, guys.